What's up? What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl of Strap Content here. And we are discussing Raising Kanan, okay? Season 5, episode 6. I'm really feeling some type of way, you guys. We have 2 more episodes left of this show. Like, I am in my feels. Not gonna lie. I'm not happy about this at all. What's up? Is Chakra King Black, right? I think I got it right. I got it right. 4197. How you doing? Thank you for coming through. What's up? Support Gaming, CJ Harrison. My Saturday is going great, you guys. I'm sorry for the late live, but my nephson's birthday is tomorrow. So I can't go live on Sunday as I normally try to do. So we're going to just handle a little late night situation if y'all don't mind, okay? Mr. Jones, yes, little revival, you know what I'm saying? So yes, we're going to talk about Raising Kanan and get into the thanks, okay? Get into the thanks. So y'all, we start off the episode with Marvin and Rock, and they're talking, and he's starting off the conversation. Well, we know this conversation started probably before then, but we see the part where he asked, like, was this a mistake or not? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that was an interesting choice for the directors to start in this part of the conversation, because I'm like, what was said before for him to even have the word mistake in his mind frame? Like, was she switching up her story beforehand, or was she unclear? Like, I don't know. It was just weird because we go through this conversation. She's explaining what happened, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how Marvin got to the question, was this a mistake or not? Like, that was kind of interesting, especially coming from the end of episode 5, where she was like, he put down our baby brother. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That was interesting, but she goes over the story again. The first thing that comes to mind is semantics. Okay. She told the truth per se, but she didn't really necessarily go blow by blow, pause, in terms of the situation. Granted, sometimes when you're in a traumatic situation and like that, especially, you tend to forget details, but she tells Marvin, what had happened. Okay. And he was like, yo, I should have killed that little ninja. I was like, yes, Marvin, you should. Like, I don't know what they was talking about in this scene on Friday, but Ice Cube, he was high at this point, but he was like, yes, that's how I felt. Yes, you should have killed the little niglet. Okay. I don't care. Like, he should be gone. But of course, Rock ain't, she's not going to sanction that or whatever. But she goes on to tell Marvin, I panicked. I didn't know what to do, yada, yada, yada. He was like, no, you know exactly what to do. Because our baby brother begged us before on the way to the rehab that, he don't want to be left off of some ditch nowhere. And here you go, putting him in a ditch somewhere. And granted, I understood her perspective, but I'm still mad at the fact that she waited so long. Granted, it's probably been about a week or so, if that. But still, she should have told Marvin, if not immediately, like the next day. Because he could have been murked. Like, he could have gotten the whole war with Unique and everything because you was over there protecting Kanan, doing what you always do. Anywho's, she was like, enough of this sappy shit, okay? Back to Biz naive, okay? We need a new plug. I said, if I hear this one more time in the Power universe, I am going to blow a gasket, okay? We always need a plug. Is this how it really works? And unfortunately, the only kingpin I had in my family, he's deceased, so I can't even ask him. So I'm like, was it like this? Was it this stressful? Granted, this is TV. But drama do be happening in the real world. But I'm like, every month we gotta get a new plug. Like, for real, like, are the plugs really like abundant? Like, how did that process go? Do you get a referral? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you get a recruiter, a headhunter? What are you doing to get a new plug and to find the plugs? Like, this is a lot. This is a whole heck of a lot. I already told y'all years ago, we need an HR department for the gangsters in the underworld because I'm stressed out with a K. Stephen Harris, what's up? Thank you for coming through. Yes, Team Uncle Marvin. Come on. Uncle Marvin right now is the only person. Well, he is making some mistakes, but at this point, he's the only person that's kind of thinking at this point. Jukebox she's back on track. We're going to get on her in a minute, but I'm stressed out. Marvin's stressed out. He's like, F the business. Rock is like, no, if you F the business, you Fing yourself. Because at the end of the day, we got deadlines to meet, and she's already been threatened by the plug. But based on how things turned out, we in that boat any damn way. But carry on. Carry on, Rock. So it's so funny this episode. Every time like Marvin's with Rock, he looking at her like, we grew up together. We was in the same, we was eating breakfast together. We got the same, like, who is this woman? Like, he's really like just really baffled at this chick at this point. And it's not really that Rock is a little different. She's being different. She's different now, right? Lou has changed both of them, but Marvin is different as well because he's normally with the ish. He's normally like, bet, all right, let me get the Uzi, let me get the 9, let me do what I need to do. Like, he never had a problem, but he's changed. Lulu has changed these people, and they pretty much have reversed roles. Like, Rock is now the irrational reactor, and now Marvin is the thinker. Who would have ever thought we would see this transition between these two? Blaze, what's up? Blessings. Thank you for coming through. I know 2 more episodes. I'm not ready. Voice of reason. You said she felt the pressure from Pino. Is the reason to finally say something to Marvin. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that a couple weeks ago in terms of why she told Marvin, but you know, it's layered or whatever. But yeah, she of course tells him Joaquin is dead and we need a new plug, and he's over it.com. So let's get to Jarita and Kanan. Jarita, you must really love that ninja to really look him in the face and not throw up or laugh. Because what the hell? Granted, if my husband, knock on wood, if he ever was to come home looking like that, of course I'm gonna nurse my man because I love him. That's why I'm saying you got to really love a ninja. Kanan is beyond a customer at this point because can we put some gauze? Can we? I mean, I know there's eye patches, but can we get a face patch? Like, get us a N19 mask or something, because this shit is looking terrible. Like, Jarita is really looking at this man like his face is not effed up like this. It's like, you love this boy. It's giving pedophilia because, girl, I know you're over 21. What are we doing here? But hey. So he comes clean and tells her everything about the dynamics of, you know, how their relationship or how they come to meet is not really a coincidence or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I'm pretty much the son of your boss. So what's up? And she's like, what the fuck? So I did like that scene with Kanan. Like, he was honest for the most part, because he's like, yo, like, well, I must say he was doing a little too much, because he was like, I just want to look out for you. I say, you can't even look out at both of your eyes, Kanan. Jarita, that's a red flag, okay? You can see out of one eye. I don't want you looking out for me, because that eye may not even be well. But whatever, y'all, I love whatever. But, you know, he's pretty much telling her his feelings is real and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, Kanan, you are what, 17? We done had Davida, Palomar, Crystal, now Jarita. And that's 4 in about a year. You've been in love 4 times in a year. The men in the chat, let me know, was y'all really rolling like that at 17? Y'all was really falling in love. Like, he's giving DMX verse, like about 3 Kims, LaToya, Tina, Kelly, Rashida. Like, it's giving DMX verse 2 of Tell 'Em What You Want, because Kanan, you fall in love about every other month, sir. Now, granted, Jarita is pretty much more experienced. Well, Palomar, she's been on the street as well. I don't know. Jarita probably been hoeing probably for about a year or two. Palomar was a clean like 36. So Palomar she probably was doing a lot more. Yeah, she probably was, but Jarita was with the Caucasoids, I heard they be knowing some things as well. But anywho, they in love now, y'all. Are y'all excited for this love story? Are we going to see much of? She's going to be in Origins, but I don't foresee her really being. I won't say not a big part. I don't know. I don't know how much we're going to see of Kanan being a father. Like, I don't really see him taking Sean to the park and pushing the swings, but we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I don't really care about the Jarita and Kanan situation, but we already know her womb is going to be filled with joy very shortly. Kanan and Juke have a very good conversation. It was really Juke, okay? Because this is what we needed. She came over there, and I knew she was gonna want answers. Juke is too damn nosy not to want follow up situation. Okay, she needs to ask the important questions, and of course, she's like, "Yo, did you really do this shit for real, like on purpose?" And he was like, "Well, it was my mother fault," and sorry. I'm tired of Katie. I have to laugh because it's like, are you serious right now? Well, if she didn't do all the ish she did, then I wouldn't have been over there. And I'm like, sir, not even sir, because you don't even deserve sir, Kanan. But he's pretty much saying it's his mother's fault. She covered it up. And he would have told them earlier. Kanan, really? I don't see that. Do y'all believe Kanan would have told the family what he did? I don't think so. But you still are ignoring the fact that this woman is still protecting you because she loves you. Marvin, maybe you should have punched him in the head a few times to get the brain cells coagulating together and knock some sense into him, because, sir, but Juke, she put him in his place, and I love that. She pretty much said, hey, you doing what you always do. You blaming Rob, but you can't do that anymore, sir. The jig is up. And surveys suggest that you're not about Ish, and suggest, and perhaps you were never about Ish. And I was like, ding, 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 jukebox. I'm glad you back, girl. Because I thought we lost you for a little minute because you was drinking the Kanan Kool-Aid for a while. But now she's starting to see the light. And I appreciate that. And I love the fact she was like, yo, you got to figure it out. You can't be a man and a bitch. Okay. You could be a boy bitch. Okay. You could do that. But you can't be a man bitch. So what we doing? I love that. Like, Juke is probably the only person that could really talk to Kanan like that and him not react. And I appreciate that. Because he don't need to be bucking up. And it's funny, right? Because at that point, you could tell, like, Kanan was like, ugh, she is right. She is correct. I need to stop blaming my mother for everything. I love that. Thank you, Stephen. You don't think he would have told them the truth? Yeah, exactly. He a little liar. Like, I don't know. So Olga, Famous's mother, she was on her way to the airport because, she packing up the house. She going to California with Jessica. And I'm still mad that Lulu did not go on that plane with Jessica. Like, he would still be alive. Like, I don't think he would have been a simp for leaving and being with Jessica. But if he would have been called a simp, I would have like, simp on my brother. You will be alive and well, okay? Just stay away from the Bloods and Crips and them, and you'll be fine. But anywho, Famous's mother had a box of Kanan's clothes that she wanted to return to Raquel. And, Raquel invites her in. They have a talk, and she's explaining, like, yo, our families are connected. And I was like, Olga, more than you know, honey. More than you know. You guys are connected for real. But she, they share condolences because, Lulu's gone, Famous is gone. And, she's pretty much saying, we have to protect the ones that we still currently have on this earth. And, she's questioning if she was a good mother or not. And she did ask, Rock, hey, did Famous say anything about me while he was living with y'all when, I had to go to the shelter? And she was like, no, he said nothing but great things. She was like, well, it's good to hear, even though it may not be true. I fight with myself with her decision, one, to kick Famous out. He was stealing, and he was having the random girls he was smashing in his room. He was, 16? Like, I don't know. Like the smashing of the girls, I don't know. Well, it's boundaries broken, right? But I'm like, stealing that, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I could handle the stealing. So I don't know if that's grounds for kicking somebody out. Like, I mean, if you steal a little dollar, a little $5, you know what I'm saying? But if you stealing my bra money, my light bill money, then we probably have to talk. But don't get me wrong, I'm not tolerating no thievery, no lying in my house. But she did kick him out the house, and she did, she did what she did with that gun situation. So that was a fail. That was a fail. I wish she would have maybe consulted Rock. Like, hey, Raquel Thomas, I know you and your families are gangsters, what have you. So I kind of need some advice on how to handle this situation. Like, oh, but that was like the time for you to be a civilian. I'm sorry. Call your gangster friends and get some advice. She did not do that. And of course, that trickled in the whole situation. Now, Famous is no longer. The streets got a body. So she also stated, per Jessica's accounts, Lulu looked up to Raquel, wanted to be like Raquel. She was the strongest person she knew, yada, yada, yada. And, Rock was like, this is the same fool I told him I owned him 3 months ago. Okay. So I guess she wanted more validation. So she made a whole appointment to the therapist that Lou used to go to get more information about what Lou was possibly saying about her. But she doesn't understand the legalities of attorney. I won't say the attorney private. You know what I mean? It's a confidentiality situation, regardless if the person is deceased or not. Okay. So she's like, he's dead. Like, what we being confidential for? But he's explaining, like, hey, what do you want to know? I mean, sir, you was getting. I mean, he wasn't being disrespectful, but I'm like, sir, I'm paying you a good probably $100 right now. I'm gonna need you to talk to me a little nicer. But he probably wasn't feeling Rock from their previous encounters, so I understand, right? So he pretty much told her, like, hey, whatever you're trying to get in terms of what Lulu was saying about you, it may not be really exactly what he was saying about you that's really mattering. It's more so how you feel about yourself. And of course, this whole time, Raquel is in denial. She was like, it's not about me. He was like, ma'am, you are sitting on my couch. It's about you. And this is the frustrating part, right? She's in a perfect place, right? She's she's with the therapist, but it's not for the right reasons. You need to be in there to get your mental together and work some ish out. But instead, you're there because you're feeling away, you're feeling sad, you possibly want some validation, you want to feel better about yourself, you pretty much are in denial, so you're trying to figure out if you're a good person or not, if you're a good mother or not, if you're a good sister or not. But you need to be in there doing the work on yourself and take heed to what this man is telling you versus fighting, because you're fighting, and look where we are now. We have not gotten anywhere, Rock. Like, you should have taken that opportunity to work on yourself, not to feel better about yourself. Like, peel back the layers. You're a cute little onion, Raquel. Peel back the layers, ma'am. Like, we're tired of you fighting. At some point, you have to understand you can't control everything. You can't be the authority figure of everything. This man is a whole doctor, and he's breaking things down, and you're still fighting. You wasted your money and your gas. I hope you understand that. But she doesn't. She doesn't. But I do feel she is now at a place she's doing a lot of reflecting. But at the same time, she's still making a lot of horrible mistakes. And I feel like it's a little too late. She kind of made some decisions this episode that was I don't think you can really fix. But we'll get there. So Garcia is speaking with Tanner, the feds, about the, Figueroa case, aka what had happened to Sean. And Tanner's like, Baptiste is involved, sir. Your whole department, the 117, the 117, y'all all dirty. Now you may be a little clean, but I still don't trust you. And of course, Garcia, he's lying a little bit. He's pretty much saying that he wants to, give the mother some closure. He wants more information, yada, yada, yada. But Tanner, mouth shut, because he don't trust nobody in that department, okay? So Garcia was like, that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and do my own investigation. So he pops up at Captain Baptiste. Baptiste retirement party. And he was like, yo, can we talk outside? So they're talking outside, and he's questioning him. He's like, yo, I heard your retirement was not on your own accord. I heard it was kind of forced. And of course, Baptiste, he's getting a little attitude or whatever. And I'm like, oh, you're getting triggered. You're getting triggered, okay? But I'm like, damn, you don't have no type of courtesy, Garcia. This man even cut his cake yet. And you over here ruining his party. But hey, Garcia, I want to say he's a good cop at heart. And I do think, I'm sure he's looked up to his captain, and to hear that his captain may be dirty, that's heartening. It's like, damn, I've been working for you this whole time and you dirty? You dirty? Like, that's not cool. So I don't know why, but Captain Baptiste remind me of the captain in Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know why. His mannerisms is giving Beverly Hills Cop. I cannot remember the captain's name, but it's given that. So the next night, Garcia, he pulling up his crib, and guess who shows up? Captain Baptiste, drunk ass, okay? Drunk as a skunk, and talking about, you ruined my party last night, so I'm gonna ruin yours. I'm like, Captain, we ain't got time. Like, go back to the house, Captain. But he ends up confessing, and this fool got the nerve to say that he gave Snap and Pop's information on Famous because they had such a hard on and was so thirsty about any information pertaining to Raquel Thomas that he threw them a bone. Because you know what? In this 35-year career, I've had to scratch some backs to get my back scratched. Y'all, this had my wheels turning because I'm like, damn, like, I don't know. I just wish we had more time to go through this Baptiste situation, because I'm like, damn, did you and Howard have some things that was going on that we didn't know? Do you know that Howard murked Bert low-key? That's why you was going so hard for him, or you just really had a rapport with Howard, so that's why you was... I just had so many questions, and I'm sure if we had 10 episodes, we can get more into it, but we don't have the time. We wrap Baptiste up real quick, right? Because he took his behind home and probably took his uniform to the cleaners, put that bitch on, and deleted himself, which was literally a cop-out. I'm like, sir, now don't get me wrong. I understand he's probably feel guilty. I get it. He didn't want to face that Fed time. But, sir, that was a cop-out. And they showed everything, y'all. They showed everything. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think, he should have stuck around and dealt with his possible, charges? I don't know. And I'm like, dang, he didn't even get the tea. He didn't even get the real info that Howard and Rock and Kanan, they all one big little happy family. You over there helping Snap and Pop regarding a woman that's the baby mother of your beloved Howard. You didn't even stick around long enough to get that tea, sir. Oh well. Let me see what y'all say in the comments real quick. Did y'all like the video yet? What y'all waiting on? What the hell are you waiting for? Blaze, you said no, just the captain, but the entire police precinct is playing dirty. Garcia is literally the only one with clean hands for the time being. Even gave, yeah, Judy Becker money. We'll get to that in a second. Yes, I didn't see that coming either, Steven. Like, really? Really, Captain? Really? This what we doing? Okay. Okay. Steven, you said Baptiste's involvement in Famous's death was gut punching twists. At least someone in the invite actually feels bad for his fate. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, dang, Famous didn't even have a chance. Oh my God, I cannot wait till we bust a cap on niggas. Ooh. I can't wait. So Garcia, he meets with Jude and he says, hey, I have confirmed that it was Snap and Pop. And no, they did not. The cops that you thought that was working with Rock, those weren't the doers. And so he was like, I don't know what I was thinking playing dirty cop, but this ain't for me. So he gave her all her bread back. And he pretty much broke the agreement. And she was like, whoo, thank God, because I ain't cut out for this too, Garcia. Like, it was like they wanted to have a little jokey joke conversation after that, because they wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for this. And you, by the grace of God, because you was holding on by a thread. And now that Rock's business is dwindling, you were working for them. And we don't have no more work. So you would have been in a real bad situation because you wouldn't have been able to pay Garcia the bread. Now I'm also wondering, what Rock's business is no longer, like, what is she going to do now? Is she going to find another connect? Like, I don't know. I just don't see her getting her work from Kanan, but it's a possibility since he does have a connect. And she was like, hey, Ninja, you owe me. So put me on. I don't really see that. I don't like it. I should say that. But I don't know. I'm just curious to what Juke is going to, and I really feel like, sorry, my brain is moving faster than my mouth. I feel like I would prefer, I know this is probably redundant to y'all, but I would have enjoyed, they could have origins, right? But I would want really Juke to have her own show from like now to what we see in Power or something like that. Like this thing, what is the thing? Was it Legacy? Yeah, we don't need no Legacy. Like Tommy and Tariq, I don't want that. I don't want that. And Tommy, that's the thing that's pissing me off, and that's the only thing I'm gonna say about this. I just don't like the fact that he's over there about to work and sell work with the fool that took your brother down. And you don't think he would try to take you out? Oh, I don't want to deal with this no more, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if to each his own. To each his own with the Tommy and Tariq things for gaming. Some people will love it. Some people will love it, but I just want something a little more. I just don't know. We saw what happened in Forest, and granted, I feel like the show will be better than Forest, but I would need to see more growth in Tariq and more growth with Tommy, as I think we're getting there a little bit with Tommy. I would just need to see more than a regular-ish with them. We've seen them consistently for so long, and I think I'm like, I'm over it. But anywho, Juke did ask Garcia for another favor. So I'm pretty sure, she's asking him about the situation with Marvin. But we'll get into Marvin right now, right? So Marvin, we see him. He's going to the military. I said military. Lord Jesus, it's time for me to go to bed. He went to the cemetery to talk with Lou, and he's like, yo, Lou, I'm all effed up right now. I'm all effed up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not really feeling the game like that anymore. And I don't have I don't know. I never felt this way. Marvin is truly lost. He's truly lost. And it really it's all because of Lou being gone, because they've been through so much ish, but this is the one thing that's really impacted them. Because it's given like what Juke told Tariq, maybe episode 2 or so, when she was like, I just thought we was invincible. I thought we was untouchable. And I this is the situation where everybody's like, no, we are truly not untouchable. Granted, this was an in-house job because it was good old Kanan who did it. But I really feel like this really effed them up. And the part that scares me is Marvin saying, I don't feel nothing and I need to feel something. And that need to feel something really felt kind of eerie, like I'm about to do some ish that is going to make me feel better. And I'm scared of what that's going to be. Because we see him talk to the pastor, the Flossie. He's talking, don't get me wrong. But it just seems like the talking it's resonating to some extent, but it's not making him feel better. But it's grief at the end of the day, guys. If you lost somebody close, you get it. You're not thinking clearly. Blade said more growth and Tariq highly unlikely. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's going to take for me to be interested in the legacy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So after the cemetery, Marvin goes to talk to Flossie because they low-key besties at this point. And they discuss grief and revenge. And he asked, like, yo, when you took the guy down that was responsible for your daughter's demise, did you feel better? She was like, nah, not really. I don't miss her any less. And he was like, well, you got even, so why you don't feel better? She was like, sir, there's no even. There's no even Stevens, Marvin. Like this is not Uno. Like this is not that. You know what I'm saying? Like the best that you can do at this point is pour into your daughter. Bet everything on her. He was like, all right, I got you. So he goes and meets with his quote unquote 2 daughters. Again, like at this point, I feel like Amber's foster parents are telling her, yo, go get some fresh air. Go outside and play for like 5 hours. Because what? Unless they work late nights or get off way after she gets out of school, like what the hell is going on, Amber? What's T, girl? You got a lot of freedom. I did not have that much freedom as a kid, okay? And I grew up in New York. And I grew up in a much dangerous neighborhood. So, ma'am, where's all the, don't get me wrong. What Amber is maybe 10, 11. Let me not cap too much. I was able to go outside and play with my friends. But I wasn't in my block. I was not going beyond my block. Like, granted, my apartment didn't face where, well, we had a front and the back of our building. So where I was playing in the front of the building, there was no visibility. Now, sometimes my grandmother will be outside watching me, but sometimes she won't. So granted, yeah, we did have a little more freedom back in the day. But Amber, like, what is going on? Like, I can't rule out a wire. Did she still have that pink coat on this episode? I don't know. It's giving Lisa Marie all over again with the bug. But I don't know, because she told Marvin, well, granted, he pretty much wanted them to have a formal introduction, her and Juke, just in case something happens to him. And she's like, Uncle Marvin, I don't want anything happening to you. And then he asked her about the popo. And she states that they said it was another neighbor who said it was a black man. Now, I would like to believe that the popo was lying. There is no other witness. Who knows? But she said, well, Uncle Marvin, I kind of told him I don't remember, it's kind of shaky. And I'm just like, she's like, I'm so scared. I couldn't really recall. I'm like, oh, you're going to fuck up the thing. You're going to fuck up the thing, Amber. We already know you got snitch in your blood, Amber. I'm a little nervous. And Juke looking like, what the hell's going on? Like, she lost. as soon as Marvin talking about the popo, she was like, what? So of course she's like, what did you do? Like, it's giving parent, like, what did you do? All right, you thought the game was all fun. You're gonna see what Rock been dealing with. You're gonna see what Rock been dealing with your daddy and the stuff he be getting into. You have now assumed her role in being Marvin's parent, low key. Now, granted, it was on some Good Samaritan-ish, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, Marvin, but I don't know. Do y'all feel like Amber is going to crack under pressure? Because she probably got a cute, nice old, big old room, just like Nicole did. You know what I'm saying? She lived in a nice house, okay? Getting 3 meals a day, all the snacks, okay? All the, American Girl dolls. Like, she's living a great life. So, I don't know. And Uncle Marvin, I know you're not in a position to adopt her. But, sir, she's up against some odds right now. You know what I'm saying? She got snitch in her blood. So, we don't know. But he did ask Juke to have her cop, a.k.a. Garcia, to look into the thing, which was we saw her ask Garcia about. Well, we didn't see the dialogue about what she wanted him to look into. But we can assume. I'm also curious. Once Garcia starts poking around, like, I don't know how much help he can actually be, except for give them a heads up. Like, I don't know if he'll dirty himself up more by, like, interfering with the case. Like, granted, it's a Fed case. I believe those are Feds that are questioning Amber. So that's kind of out of his jurisdiction. We already know Tanner and them Feds, they not trying to give out any information. And Garcia is going to have to be careful as well with, like, getting information about this, because he's already been asking about the Sean situation. So I don't know if he can really go back to Tanner and be like, I also got another case that I need some information on. And they probably going to link back, because it would be silly if the Feds have not connected Gerald and Marvin. Now, when, like, what's that, season 3 or so, or maybe 4, Marvin, he went to rescue Gerald when he was strung out in that motel, and there was the 2 Feds there. So they've seen Marvin as well. And Marvin has already been in the conversations as well. Oh, Lord, I'm getting stressed out all over again. This is not looking good, Lucy. This is not looking good. So, yeah, y'all. Amber, I just really think it's a wrap. But people are saying they will not be surprised if Juke were to off Amber. Like, I won't be surprised at anything, but I can't really see. Can y'all see that? Can y'all really see, like, Juke really doing that? I mean, Juke, we know she's a psychopath, but I don't know. I don't know if they will write that in. I really feel like the writers, even though they did what they did with Lulu and they hurt my heart, but I feel like they understand that they can't be doing too much to where we gonna be pissed. Okay. So y'all, we see Breeze. He's surveilling Hafiz for like 30 days and 30 nights at this point. Okay. He is doing all the surveillance, all the stakeouts, and he's really much trying to, see if he can get the drop on old Hafiz, but Hafiz is moving like the president. Okay. El Presidente. I mean, I know he's not Spanish, but that's how he is moving. Okay. Hafiz, he got the juice. Okay. And Breeze is like, I don't think this is going to work. So he tells Stefano, he was like, yo, like, Joaquin, piece of cake. He was naked out here in these streets. But Habib, when he called him Habib, that was hilarious. He was like, Habib, yeah, he's moving a little too presidential up in here. Like, it's gonna be hard to catch him, slipping. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. And I love the fact, and y'all, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I am liking Breeze more and more. I don't know, y'all. liking Breeze, and this is not a shock, right? I've never been like, oh my God, I can't wait for Breeze, can't wait for Breeze. I was never thirsty to see Breeze, so I never really had too much an opinion to form on my thoughts on Breeze in terms of him before appearing on this show. But I am really liking a lot of his dialogue. He's dropping a lot of gems, dropping a lot of bars, okay? And this is probably what I wanted to see initially, right? But no, they started with the reckless violence. And then they started introducing the layers of Breeze, the strategy and the strategic thinker, like the smart thinker that he is. I just wish they would have dialed back on the reckless violence just a little bit. But I guess we have to see. I mean, all the gangsters, they all are, well, not all, but some of them have layers. Some of them are multidimensional. I get it, but I can't believe I'm actually kind of liking Breeze a little bit. But I just love how he handles conversations with people like Stefano, right? Because he's like, yo, he dropped the bar. He was like, sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. And of course, Stefano, he's not doing that. He's like, I want to cut Rock off at the neck. And so he was like, hey, just my opinion. Just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, tell you what to do. And I love that because Breeze offers his thoughts and opinions, but he also makes it clear to Stefano, like, hey, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not undermining how you feel, but I'm just offering my point of view, right? And I love that because he knows how to balance the conversation. He knows how to, I feel like he's very emotionally intelligent. So Stefano was like, you know what, maybe there's another way to approach this. And let's try to be diplomatic about it. And by diplomatic means going to Hafiz. And they have a meeting and he throws all of the salt, no pepper on Raquel Thomas. And it just pisses me off because Stefano, like, it's crazy how, and they didn't do this with Ghost as much, but the way people have such a hard on and just so bothered by the mere existence of Rock is hilarious to me. Like, Snap and Pop just can't stand her ass. Stefano couldn't stand her ass. And some of y'all maybe are going to disagree, right? And granted, Rock is not innocent, but they be putting more on her jacket than what she needs. Like, she's not merely guilty of half the ish that she be getting accused of. And Stefano knows damn well she didn't spoil the relationship. He just being a bratty ass nigga. He's, like I said, he's the Dame Dash and she is the Jay-Z. But they pretty much give her, according to Hafiz, it seems like it's an offer that he can't refuse. So they offer him 5% more of what Rock is giving him. And I'm like, now granted, he did mention that Rock has not been delivering, which is interesting because I don't know, she's been breaking Pino off his funds. I don't know. I just wasn't under the impression that Rock was not really delivering as he stated. I don't know if he was putting, 20 on 10, but now granted, we know she's struggling. Like, the business, I'm saying, it has had its faults because she's losing people, but it's crazy because he talked a great game. And everybody else Stefano approached, it was like, yo, Stefano, I feel what you're saying, but nah. You know what I'm saying? He went to Flossie. She was like, Stefano, I'm here out of respect, but you can't tell me how to run my business. As well as, everybody else he's been talking to. But Hafiz is the one person that I would think stand 10 toes down. And he folded. Real easy. Like, he didn't give it a second chance. Meanwhile, when Rock was trying to connect with him, she had to jump through hoops just to work with the man. And because what? And why? Because she is woman, because she is Black. Anywho, Now, Rock, she meets with Hafiz, and y'all, this scene, I did not enjoy this at all. At all. And he pretty much tell her, like, yo, we are no longer working together, okay? I no longer need your services. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And the second in command is the one talking. I don't know if it's Ishaq. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. But they pretty much explained to her, well, not they. The second in command was talking most of the time while Hafiz was over there fake signing shit. And he was like, yo, we found another partner that can increase demand and give us a better price. So she was like, I'm not trying to mess up your bread. Like, I can share you. I can share you, sir. I don't understand how that got to do with any of us. Like, this man has built whole infrastructures to manufacture the work. And I know she's thinking the same thing. Like, hold up. I am the reason why you put all these things in place. So why you working with somebody else got to do with me? Like, that's what plugs do. Plugs be working with multiple people. The math ain't mathing. And so she was like, yo, you can work with both of us. And the second in command said, we cannot. And she looking like, you can't? Oh, you working with Stefano now. And you could tell her heart was broken. She was like, this motherfucker. Like, you could tell she was pissed off. Pissed off. And you could see it, right? And they try to dismiss her. And she was like, get the fuck out. Don't touch me. Don't touch this leather nigga. Like, she was. And I hated this scene because I don't want to use the term grovel, right? I don't want to really say beg, but Rock normally is in such a like state when she's in a meeting, like you could just feel the confidence and you know, she'd be just talking that shit. It's like unfazed, but she really looked like she was down bad. Like it was hard to see, like the fall off and the downfall is just hard to watch. And then she furthermore makes a mistake and threatens this man by pretty much saying, you talk a lot ish about where you from. And you think you know where I'm from, but I'm about to show you where I'm from. So you giving this man a warning that you about to do some ish. And then what do we see next? She did some ish. She went back to one of their spots later on. And this is the part, this is kind of goofy to me. Maybe I'm nitpicking. But the second in command is in that spot seemingly alone. He was alone, counting bread, and the door was unlocked. Now, granted, you are the second in command. You may not demand as much security as your boss, but you should have had at least somebody else there with you. Like, y'all supposed to be running a tight-ass ship. Hafiz over there got about 4-5 of them. 4-5 of them boys with him at any given moment. But so you mean to tell me that your second in command has no security or does not have the sense to lock the door? What is this Friday after next no lock doors? Like, what is going on here? Like, you over here lacking. And so Marvin and Rock put him down. But before they got to that point, Marvin was like, yo, this don't feel good. Like I could just tell his intuition, like he's unlocked another level, right? And like I said, him and Rock their roles have reversed. He's thinking more. And he was like, yo, how many more wars you want to be in? And she was like, as many as going to take to win. And this is the problem. Rock, you need to really ask yourself, what is it to win? And what do you consider winning? Yes, you love power, you love money, you love selling the drugs. But at some point, you get tired. You lost your son, you lost your brother. Family is dismantled. You over here playing these games. Like, you kind of got a low-key get out of jail free card. Your plug dismissed you. All right, cool. Walk away. But she cannot seem to walk away. And that's why I'm like, she's on that I don't give a F mode. She doesn't give a F anymore. I feel like she's really on some low-key self-sabotage, suicide mission type ish. Like, I really feel like she just don't give a F anymore. And she's about to make these reckless decisions, which she already made one, that she can't come back from. Season 1, episode 1. Maybe episode 2 or 3. Don't quote me. But ever since Kanan stepped in her business and murked Buck 20, she has been cleaning up this boy's mess since then. And then throughout the season, she's been cleaning up Marvin's mess. She spent all this time cleaning up their messes to get to a certain place. And now you have made such a mess where I feel like nobody can clean this. Even if Marvin or Kanan can try, I don't think it's possible. Like, I feel like this is the point. This is the move that's going to set everything off. Like, you need to take cover, Rock. They about that house up. That house about to be Rock. You need to relocate, get a new car. And the way Marvin was looking at her all episode, he's like, who are you? Who are you, woman? Like, you cannot. But she always low-key been this way. It's a little exaggerated, but the difference is, Marvin has changed. She changed too, but when she did that shit, I understand principle. I understand being mad. I understand being upset, but that was not the move to make. Hey, it's NL1913. How you doing? Yes, ski upu. Blaze, you said that's the problem with many of the power characters. Leaving well enough alone isn't a viable solution for them. That's why we rarely ends well for these people. Yes, it's like Rock. That was normally, I won't say normally. 7 times out of 10, I'm like, okay, Rock, I can see, I can justify the decisions you've made, but this one, I cannot get with. I can't get with this decision. I can't. But let's touch on Breeze and Kanan before we get out of here, y'all. So I'm sorry, Makai, I gotta give you your props, because to be able to act in that type of makeup and prosthetics, kudos to you, sir, because that is a lot. That is a lot. I wouldn't even be able to I can't even take myself seriously looking like that. Like, what the hell? And Breeze is like, what the hell? Maybe you should lay low a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You should lay low, because you looking like a victim right now. Like, who's gonna want to test you? You know what I'm saying? And of course, Kanan, he's being fake, little thug, you know what I'm saying? I'm scared of myself. I ain't scared of nobody. Marvin, maybe you ain't heard him much. Maybe you ain't heard him bad enough. Maybe. But I feel like Kanan was about 2 to 3 punches away from being out of here. Breeze gives Kanan a car on some brother-ish. He says it means everything to him. And of course, obsessive Kanan was like, my mother, she bought me a car. I'm like, he is not your mother. This is the thing. Y'all all need therapy. God damn. Sorry, y'all. This family be stressing me out. Like, I don't know. But of course, Breeze gifting that car. It don't feel right. It don't feel right. What do y'all think about this car situation? It don't feel right. So I did not state, but I'm going to say it now. Marv, we saw him, bust through that door and scare all of Kanan's little employees. Okay. And so they end up going, look like the pawn shop possibly. And Kanan was like, I didn't call no team meeting. Like, what the hell y'all supposed to be at work selling that work? What the hell y'all doing? So Crank was like, we a little worried, we a little scared about what had happened. And then he was like, oh, we ain't been seeing you, but I see why. You a little fucked up. I was like, all right, Crank. We know you a chatty patty, but I'm going to need you to read the room, sir. Read the room. You talking a little too much. Talking a little too much. And this is what Crank decides. He wants to take off his drug dealer hat and put on his life coach hat. And he tells Kanan, sometimes you got to take a minute. You know what I'm saying? You need to sit back and reassess some ish. Get your life in order. I said, nigga, you a corner boy. What the hell you telling me about my business? At least I'm a boss. I'm your boss. I'm doing better than you, low key. I mean, I'm a little. Kanan, did you put a little steak on there or something? Maybe that a little ribeye, maybe a little help. Kanan was like, I'm a little effed up right now, but what? And next thing we know, Crank is no longer with us. Crank, you made a mistake. You don't have Flossie as a boss, okay? He's not going to give you no short-term disability, no PTO, no sick time, no hazard pay. Okay? Oh, my God. Did you just not realize one day you saw Taz and the next day you don't see him no more? And the last time you saw Taz probably is when he was talking ish and greasy to Kanan. Did Breeze even address Taz at all to the team? Regardless, 1 + 1 is 2. You see Taz, he talk ish to Kanan. You don't see Taz no more. So you decided that it was proper to not only talk greasy to Kanan that way, but in front of everybody. You thought you was safe. You thought you was in corporate America, that you was going to be able to say what you say in the conference room and go back to your cubicle and get maybe a verbal warning? No, sir. You're a drug dealer in Jamaica, Queens in 1993. Employee to Kanan Stark. You needed to reassess what the hell you was saying. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I don't be effing with Kanan like that, but I wasn't mad at Kanan. Crank had to go. And he also did need to be an example because none of y'all about to talk to me crazy. And Kanan told y'all, like, I don't want no scared people. Scared money don't make no money. So I'm gonna need you to get back to work. Because what we doing? What are we doing? What? I need to reassess. Get my life in order. Get your life in order. Stop selling drugs. Crank got on my damn nerves. Places that man wanted to report Kanan to HR. Yeah, like, what are we doing here? This is not a regular organization, sir. So we see later on, Breeze and Kanan, they're having a conversation, and Kanan is hot. He was like, yo, we got to head back. We got to go guns blazing, okay? And of course, Breeze is like, oh, like we saw with Crank over there. Is that what we own? He was like, no, I want to make a meal out of my mother. I was like, Kanan, yawn. I'm tired of the threats, Kanan. I'm tired of this mother-ish. How long are we going to do this? You do not want to murk her. Like, let's just keep it real. You don't want to murk her. Yes, you want to make her hurt. But you're not going to murk her. So this is another point in the episode where I was really feeling Breeze. I'm like, yes, Breeze, I need more of this. I need more of this, right? So he was like, yo, because this is the problem with Kanan and Rock. They have such a toxic and effed up relationship. Their personal relationship is affecting their business relationship. And the problem is their business affects other people and other businesses. So it's getting real messy. And Kanan, he was like, yo, it's not really about putting her down for real. I just want her to see who we are. And of course, Breeze, he always has the pushback. He's like, he's understanding like personal business. He understands what's personal, what's business. And yes, he had it said before, what's personal is business, business is personal. Like Breeze is very clear on when things need to occur. So he was like, what you and your mom's got going on ain't got nothing to do with this work, sir. Ain't nothing to do with this work. She came at you, not us. And you know, Breeze, he don't have no problem getting down with Kanan. He showed that he's loyal to Kanan because they brothers. But at this point, he was like, yo, like, we're just going to be collateral damage at this point, my boy. Like, we're not getting into that mess he is. You go on to a talk show if you want to. We're not getting into this. He was like, yo, it's a time and a place for everything. If we going to hit her, we got to be strategic. We got to be smart, okay? We got to measure and mark them before we make our move. And I love that he said that because I was automatically thinking about OG Power, how there were several instances that I could think of on the top of my head where Kanan didn't necessarily react. He played the long game. Like he was playing cutesy and, you know, reunited, and it feels so good with Tommy and Ghost, especially when they was over there trying to get at Dre. He played the long game. Yeah, we cool, but I'm about to take y'all business from y'all. Like we saw, and I love that and that's all in the dialogue. The things that we are hearing from Breeze, we can revert back or forward, if you will, to, you know, OG Power, and we see that Kanan is applying these principles. He's applying these rules. But, you know, yes, it probably took 15, 20 years, but Kanan, it takes a while, okay? You would think, granted, street smarts and book smarts is two totally different things, but I swear, Kanan, you acting like you just had 5 kids in your classroom. Like, you be acting real slow sometimes. And I don't want to, it's okay if you're special needs. You already know my heart, okay? But I swear, Kanan be acting real slow. But I do love that. You know, we got another bar, a nice little gem from Breeze, and I appreciate that. So Kanan decides to take his raggedy behind over there to Flossie's. Before we see Jarita, she tells Flossie that she don't want to be a hoe no more. She don't want to hoe no more. And you could tell Flossie was like, they was kind of going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Flossie was pretty much saying, you wasn't that good of a hoe any damn way. Like, your hoeing wasn't on 10 like it should have been. Okay, so goodbye. And we already know Flossie ain't no fool, okay? She normally walks people out and make sure them locks is locking. So I knew she ain't heard no clicks or nothing for real. So she already know. Flossie a gangster for real, okay? Her daddy was in the mob. We already know she's not going to be caught slipping. So Jarita leaves the door open for Kanan, and Kanan comes in. And this is the part that pissed me off. Kanan, you going into somebody's house. You don't even know the layout for real. And you got your blicky over there by your hip, your kneecap. You need to be like on some police force-ish. You need to be, blicky need to be up here. Not down here. Like, what is that? What is that, Kanan? You was not even ready. You wasn't even ready. And now Flossie got the drop on you. And I'm like, you really Captain Save-A-Hoe. Granted, this is a multi-layer situation. Because I don't really think she necessarily went there to save or to, protect Jarita from hoeing or lack thereof. More so getting back at his mother. But it's like, what was you really trying to do, Kanan? You was really trying to murk Flossie. You didn't maybe Jarita wasn't really scared of Flossie like the other chicks were, but that wasn't an effective plan, sir. So he explains to Flossie, I got you working with Rock. I got beef with Rock. And I am her son. And at that point, I knew Flossie was like, damn, I should have listened to Stefano ask, because these motherfuckers is messy as hell. Flossie just wanted to make a little extra bread on the side. She did not want all this. She's like, damn, I'm counseling the goddamn brother. I'm working for the goddamn sister. And now the son is over here with the blickies in my head. Now Marvin may not even come back anymore for a little drinky drink. Now I did think like, would she call Marvin over there to kind of, help with the situation so she got a more rapport with him? Like, yo, Marvin, I got your nephew over here. You want to come? Bro, come over here. We got to talk. We got to talk. Because what the hell is your nephew over here at my house? Ain't nobody named Thomas is going to be allowed in the house anymore. God damn it. Oh, Kanan, you... Honestly, it wasn't really even a need to get at Flossie. But he don't know the ins and outs of... Well, I don't know. Because that was technically another way she was moving to work. If she were to find another plug, she could still have her business. But we could have just left well enough alone. Voice of Reason, what's up? You said, I think he wanted to scare her into not working with Rock. Yeah, I don't yet. Like, so I'm saying, I'm not really sure if he really wanted to murk her. I don't really see that. But you gotta be prepared to bust some caps if you bust up in somebody's house for real. Hey, Flex HPRK. You said Rocker went out of alliances and be forced out of New York. She has, will run. She is out. Okay, it's a wrap. It is a wrap for Rock. Okay, we've had too many lives, too many business plans, too many business models, too many plugs, too many distros, too many things has occurred where Rock really needs to be like, you know what? I'm tired. She's still not really completely processing this grief she's going through. Kanan is effed up. Juke ain't really effing with her, which I do need a conversation with her and Juke. I hope we get that. Because they had a conversation when they was in the bar, but it was some like back and forth-ish. But that conversation that her and Juke had at Lamont's last season never sat well with me. I think that the writers will give us this. I really think the writers will give us a conversation between Juke and Rock. Because I don't know if we need an apology from... I don't know. I think we may need an apology. Because she was low-key accusing Rock of the things, right? So I think low-key, Juke needs to apologize to Rock. Like, auntie, my bad. My bad. I was drinking a can of Kool-Aid. I thought you was murking everybody. My bad, auntie. Like, can we be cool again? I need that conversation. That's on my list of things I need to occur within the next 2 episodes. I cannot believe they really just y'all really cheated us. Y'all really got approved for 18 episodes of Origins, but we can't get 10 episodes of season 5 of Raising Kanan. Like, what sense does that make? But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. I really enjoyed it. This season has been great. Yes, there has been some things that's been heartbreaking, but I'm moving on, you guys. I'm really processing the things. Flex, you said it would have been nice to see him duke it out one more time. Juke, the only one who could challenge Rock. You mean physically duke it out? And who are you talking about? Because Juke and Rock, I don't know if you was talking about. I don't know. I don't know who you want duking it out, but I don't know. I just at least want Rock and Juke to be on a decent accord, even though I feel like Rock's time, I don't know, on this earth or free. I really don't know. And that's the crazy part. Like, you really can't call it. You really don't know what's going to happen to Rock or Juke. I mean, Rock or Marvin. I really don't know. Things are swaying certain ways, but the writers, they be playing with us. They be playing with us sometimes. Let me see what y'all talking about. Steven, you said, wonder how Pino reacts to Stefano cutting off Rock's water from making him money. Will Pino just drop a Rock, or would he take it as a move against him? I don't think Pino needs to drop Rock, because Rock is dropped. Rock don't have no work, so it's no more business. But I do feel that Pino, that's the thing. Stefano has it coming. I just don't know from whom. I want it to be Pino. It need to be from Pino. But I could really see Breeze handling Stefano as well. But I think Breeze would be like, nah, that's a little too much. I think Breeze is under the pressure, like he's a mob boss. I don't think I want to get into those waters for real. So yeah, I think it will be just right for Pino to do so. Yeah, Marvin is done with the game. But the problem is he still is down for his sister and wants to protect her. But at the same time, we see him more and more. Because what was that episode? Maybe 4 or so, maybe 3, when Rock was kind of pressing him about meeting with Flossie, and he was like, "Yo, you can't really tell me who to meet with, but just know I am the big brother, and I'm going to protect you." So that's the thing. Since he lost one sibling, I could see Marvin being on the mindset of, "Yo, I ain't effing with her decisions, but I gotta back her. I can't leave her out there in the cold." You know what I'm saying? Unless, because I don't know if this act alone with them murking Hafiz number 2, I don't know if that's enough because he actually took part in that. I think maybe there has to be one more thing that Rock would do to him to be like, nah. Because he's tired now, but he's still rocking with her. That's the thing. So I feel like it's one more thing. One more thing she's going to try to do. And he's like, yeah, nah, sis. This ain't it. This ain't it. I'm done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I love you, but not doing this with you. Blaze, you said, I don't think Rock will meet her demise. It's too predictable. Honestly, it wouldn't be the right ending for her character. She needs to have the same fate as Franklin's fate. Yeah, I did pose that question. I don't know what episode that was on my live. They never really showed Rock when it came to drugs per se, but I could see how she's losing her mind so much that she would use the product to cope. I don't want to see Rock strung out, and I feel like this may be too, I don't want to say too late in the game to introduce that, unless they, show like her last scene just taking a line or something, or a little sniff. I don't want to see that. But I can, that is a possibility as well, with her being strung out. What I think when it comes to these special power origins, it has to make sense. They normally tie in, and they normally most times do 180s when it comes to characters like that. You know what I'm saying? How we see them in the beginning of a series is going to be completely opposite of what they see in the ending of a series. So I don't know. I feel like they're just going to strip her of everything that she enjoys, which is her money and her power and her status. But of course, in what terms is the strippage, if you will, is going to be. Hey, Candy. Hey, Miss Kira. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all are doing well and staying cool in this summer. But yeah, I really don't know Rock's fate, but I just feel like when it comes to selling the cocaine in New York City, that's a wrap. She may want to take her talents to South Beach, like LeBron, if you will, but I don't know. Like, if I would be tired though, like I would be tired of trying to find. You should have just stuck with your little strip mall, fix that ish up. You could have had your little check cashing place. Yeah, I got your hair salon, nail salon. Could have had you a little liquor, the regular schmegula hood sense. You could have had you a Chinese restaurant for real. You could have had your strip mall, could have had your house and be cool. But no, you didn't want to deal with calling plumbers and sweeping up glass on the ground. It was boring to you, Rock. She had so many chances. She could have went with Stefano to North Carolina. Like, so many things. So many times she was given out but she didn't want to because she loved the game like Mitch did. And you see how he ended up. F you forever, Uncle Ice. Flex, you said Rock will have to leave New York City because she will owe Pino. He will withdraw protection. She'll be forced out. Yeah. Rock, you just went too damn far. I'm sorry. Flex, you said Jarita is the connection to Rock and OG Power, so I don't believe she dies. Which tracks with Kanan saying he went to see his moms and OG. Jarita is the connection to Rock. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Flex. So if you want to elaborate on that, please do. But the problem is, one, the scene in OG Power where Kanan references moms. And I also went back and reviewed all the seasons of Power. If you guys don't know, and I should have playlists. A couple years ago, I went back and reviewed all the seasons. That line was open enough to where it could be interpreted so many different ways. So even though they did not, expect to have a spinoff at that time, you can take that several different ways in terms of seeing his mom. So that was good of the writers for not really writing themselves, in a corner. So, you can see your mom's different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad is in the urn in the living room. I can see him. I mean, that's dark, but I can see him, you know what I'm saying? If he was locked up, she's locked up, he can see her there. If she in a crazy house, he could see her there. So, you know what I'm saying? It's so many different ways that you can see your parent. It's all in semantics, you guys. It's in L 1913. I'm just going back into your comments that I missed, you guys. You said feelings are the cause of all this mess. Rock and Kanan, the toxic Thomases. Stefano low key like Rock, so he's acting like a sport. Yeah, like he's really like a scorn ex. Like, sir, you was never gonna get the draws for real. So why? But we know it's ego. He got a big ego. Beyonce, she sung about that not too long ago. Blaze, you said, I don't know. It's possible that the finale might have an epilogue where the adult Kanan goes to see Rock and she's not even a fraction of the woman she once was. Possibly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we see Rock is unraveling. Even in this episode, like the last couple like murking she did, she's not gonna lie, she looked fire. She looked fire this last little situation. Okay, she had the Beyonce fan going. Okay, the curls was flowing in the hair. She had the little long, leather coat, was giving Shaft a little bit. Like it was fire. She was looking good. But you could tell she got a different set of eyes on her. Like I said, it's on some low-key self-sabotage. Like, if I can't have my way, y'all niggas gonna pay. Okay. Hire me for a fresh 16 if you like to. Candy, you say your OG Power playlist is hitting. I've watched it twice. Oh, rewatching a TV show and reviewing it. Oh, thank you, Candy. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, Omari Lucas. Sorry. You said Stefano isn't salty. He's still trying to cover up his betrayal. I think it's both. I think he's salty and he's trying to cover up his betrayal. I think it's both. He was the one that ended the business relationship with Rock. He created a whole bunch of mess with Marvin. We cannot forget that. He ended the relationship with Rock. He told her not to do work anymore in Queens. She found work in Manhattan, and he still was mad. To me, that equals salt. I don't know if you garlic salt, seasoned salt, whatever salt you like, but it's salt. But I think it's both, Omari, honestly. Voice of Reezy that she was kind of hot, and I'm saying Rock was looking good. Okay, when she opened that door for Famous's mother Olga, I was like, oh, okay, Rock looking cute in the living room. Okay, I enjoy that, boo. Omar, you said he was mad because she steps over way too much. I think Stefano was mad for other reasons. I think it's ego. He's upset. He's a racist. You know what I mean? He's not a nigga for real, but you know what I mean? He's just all the things, okay? He was mad. She found a bigger and better avenue outside of him. And that pissed him off. He thought he was like, oh, I'll quit you. You can't find nothing. But you know what? She upgraded. She found a ninja that was looking better, making more money, more cheddar. And he was mad. He is the epitome of salty. Like I said, he is the Dame Dash of the mob right now. And he can go. He can go. But, you know, you have your opinions. I'm not definitely going to make you feel invalidated. I'm just saying my point of view based on, you know, the things that had happened on the show. Blaze, you said Breeze is all about business in his eyes. If the move isn't going to benefit the business in any significant way, then it doesn't need to be made. I agree. Like I said, I can't believe I'm really liking Breeze for real. And not that I came into the show like, oh my God, I'm going to hate Breeze, but it's just the way, you know, I don't know. I just didn't like the moves he was making the first few episodes. I'm like, all right, sir. I had a different vision of you in OG Power. Now you over here just being reckless McGee. Like, what are we doing here? But now they're, like I said, they're peeling back the layers of Breeze. And they're showing the mental part of him. And I appreciate that. Breeze looks too much like Havoc to me. Like I'm looking at Havoc from Mobb Deep watching this show. Like, I don't know why he looks like Havoc. Don't get me wrong. And I also say that he looked more like 50 Cent than 50 Cent. Not saying Havoc and 50 Cent look alike, but he looks so much like Havoc to me. It's wild. I'm like, it's really weird. I'm like, is Havoc, is this your son? Do we need a DNA test? Like, what the hell? He look too much like this man. Voice of Reason, you said I like how Breeze handed Stefano, where Stefano stopped the racist remarks. Yeah, I mean, I stated before, like, I love how Breeze approaches his conversations with Stefano. He voices his opinions. He makes it clear, like, hey, these are my opinions. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I understand your point of view, but hey, I may offer these, you know, opinions. Here's X, Y, and Z. And Stefano actually listens to Breeze, which is crazy because he don't really listen to anybody, but he's actually taking Breeze's advice sometimes. I just need Stefano to be out of here. Hey, Tamika, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. Y'all night owls like me, okay? Why don't we go to bed early? I be envying people that be like, oh, I go to bed at 9:30. I wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm like, I want to be grown up like y'all. Like, I cannot go to bed before 1 a.m. Like, I don't know. Like, I was never a never early sleeper. Stephen Harris, you said the way Marvin and Drew put Kanan and Rock in their place was well deserved. They made sure Kanan and Rock smelled their own shit. Yes, and I love that parallel. And that was something I wanted to mention as well, because, you know, don't get me wrong, Marvin has told Rock about herself numerous times. I feel like Rock is at a place now. She's being more reflective. And I think Lulu's death is kind of, you know, is forcing that. And, you know, this heated beef with her son. So yeah, I love the fact that, you know, the mother and son is really being told about themselves. And, you know, Kanan, even though he be frustrating me, I do give him a lot of slack. I don't like the ninja whatsoever, but he has been put in a lot of effed up positions, but he also is blaming his mother for way too many things that she is not guilty of. And I just want him to come to a point to really be like, oh, sorry, Mom, you really didn't do all that. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. I know. But I just really want him to, like, just really just have to eat his words. Oh Lord, I'm tired of that little nigga. I'm tired of him. Um, let's see here. What are y'all saying? Support gaming. You said Candy Love. That's exactly what it is. Stefano made. Oh, you said Stefano Matt Rock never gave him the meow. And plus he can't accept the woman. That's what I'm saying. It's ego. But realistically, Rock was never going to smash Stefano. Like, how many times Stefano has talked about how little his peen was? Granted, it was around his little fellow, mobster comrades, but Stefano, no, not a pill in the world is going to make Stefano in a position where he's able to really, come on, just No, he was never going to get the draws, dog. He was never getting the draws. Ever. Rock would never be no, Unique. That was different. You know what I'm saying? That was different. But Stefano, no, he was never gonna get the draws. Please be clear. And I hope y'all like the video. Please. Flex, you said Jarita knows where Rock's whereabouts is an OG. Hold on now. You said Jarita knows where Rock's whereabouts is an OG, which is how Kanan was able to go see her. They wouldn't have had direct contact with Kanan being inside. Maybe I'm completely forgetting a couple scenes out of OG Power, but I did not ever recall Jarita talking about Rock and OG Power. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just do not remember this whatsoever. And the show is fresh in my brain. Like I said, I reviewed it. Maybe, when did I start? 2023 or 2024? I don't recall that. Now you got me wondering. I gotta go back to those seasons. Stephen Harris said Rock needs to pay a visit to Teresa Baselli concerning the Stefano problem. Plus, her and Ronnie threw their siblings in the dumpster. Shaking my head. Yeah. But Rock did it, not saying it's right, but she was more strategic about it. Because she wanted to make it seem like, someone who did not care about Lou murked him, protecting Kanan, which you should have snitched. I would have locked. Sometimes you gotta lock a fool up. I'm sorry. Tough love. Just how Ghost got tired of Tariq, and he was writing him notes while he was he wrote him a note. Like, you could have, I felt like she should have got him locked up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tough love. Scared that crooked ninja straight. But he probably would have been worse. He probably would have learned some extra gangsterous moves and things. So sometimes, jail don't be rehabilitating none of them. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Blaze, you said younger Kanan is a goofy ninja. No wonder him and Tariq got along so well. Couldn't raise him. That's what I'm saying. He saw himself all over again. I hate my father. As soon as Tariq said that, he was like, word? You put that blicky down so quick. You hate your parent too? Tell me more. Like, and you a good 40 years old. Come on, Kanan. And that's the shit that pisses me off. Kanan, you did all this. You made all these moves just to be 40 years old, hitting licks with Tariq, who was what? 16, 17 at the time. The fall off could be studied, but we understand he did get set up, but nonetheless, a waste of a life. So yes, Marvin, I'm going to say it. Yes, you should have murked him. You should have murked him. Sorry. It's NL 1913. He said, hell, I don't even remember seeing Jarita OG Power. She was in one scene, from my understanding, when right after Kanan got locked up, him and Jarita were they were reacquainting each other, with one another, if you will, in the bed. And they was being hella loud. And Sean was listening to all of the things while he was watching TV. And Kanan mentioned, hey, your mama got the best you know what in New York City. And Jarita gave him the bag of money she was holding for him. And that's all I remember. I don't remember more than one scene of Jarita. And for darn sure don't remember her talking about Raquel Thomas. The only time I remember Raquel Thomas being mentioned is when it could have been the same episode, probably, where Kanan was talking to Tommy and Ghost. He said he has to go see his mother. Like, they didn't talk about Rock much from my recollection. Flex, you said Jarita didn't mention Rock and OG, but we know the connection from raising Kanan. She didn't mention her, but Kanan did when he first went to go see Ghost after, and Jarita had a stash waiting on him. Yeah, I don't know if that's like a connection, but I guess. I mean, they are connected. They're, she's his baby mother. Support gaming. You said Tariq is only like Kanan and OG Power. In book 2, he's still annoying, talking bad about Ghost, but he's the complete opposite of how he was in Power. The complete opposite of what he was in Power. Oh yeah, he went from a bratty kid, resentful of his dad cheating on his mom, to a drug dealer, always in some ish. So I guess that could be completely a murdering drug dealer, I should say. I don't want to leave that part out. Support game, we said, I'd argue Kanan is worse because he off the majority of his family tree. Reek only pop Ghost, doesn't make it any better. That is right. That's what I'm saying. As far as if I had to compare the two, I'm sorry, Kanan, I'm more frustrated with Kanan than anybody. SJ Smith, what's up? You said OG Power Rock as we know it, and OG Power Rock as we know her didn't exist. I mean, she existed because Kanan mentioned her, but we don't know to the extent of her existence what it was, if she was on this earth or not. Omari, you said, but the news said no family left. Yeah, they did say that, but I still feel like that's like, that can be open to interpretation, right? Because when you say there's no family left to collect, because you're referring to the I don't know who said it, but they were referring to Kanan's ashes, right? That's still kind of the same thing as seeing his mother. I feel like it's kind of, I don't want to say semantics, but his remaining family members could be locked up in a mental facility, in a hospital, too far, live too far to collect the remains. Like, I feel like that's still enough to be able to play with, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the writing. I get what you're saying, but I still feel like the writers can kind of justify. But you could also be right, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know because that was 1993. Well, we're in 1993 now. OG Power, that was 2014. Kanan was 40 when he died. So Rock, that's 65, but she's, I'm sorry, 55. She was 16, so she would have been like 56. Still young, but that's a long time. Hey, Inga. Hey, girl, how you doing? Flex, you said, quick side note, people didn't realize, but Raising Kanan takes place between OG season 5, episode 8 to 9. It's acts as a flashback more than a linear prequel. Never thought about that. I'll have to go back to those episodes specifically and kind of see what you're talking about. That's interesting. Blaze, you said, definitely wish this wasn't a prequel. Then Marvin could have finished the job. Alexa, it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday, but that's what I'm saying. If we would have ended the bloodline there with Kanan, like I said, Ghost would have been, over there in the suburbs with Angie. We wouldn't have to deal with Tasha, Tariq, nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would have been a less stressful situation over here. Support gaming say yes, we have to ignore the OG Power backstory lore. In certain cases, we didn't know we get a spinoff. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's a good thing about not writing yourself in a corner, because the things that we are privy to, based on what they said in OG Power, they can still write to it. You know what I'm saying? They can still honor the things that were said. But they also are honoring the things that were mentioned, like, all the talk about Breeze and the Jeopardy and, the apartment. Like, they, made true to those things. So I feel like the writers, they know, like, power fans, it get real cultish, low key, you know what I'm saying? It gets real cult. Like, and they know these fans, I don't want to say all fans, because don't get me wrong, I've been seeing some people and I'm like, what the fuck y'all talking about? And it's not really on YouTube. It'd be like on TikTok and shit. I'm like, y'all must not have watched OG Power, because some people be lost for real. So, I'm not saying every fan, but true hardcore fans, they don't play. They're going to dig up the receipts. Okay. So the writers know they have to honor what was said in OG Power. They have to make it consistent and congruent. Inga, you said, I agree. I wish we didn't have Kanan and OG Power, so the way Marvin could have killed him. And I love that Marvin said that in front of Rock. Like, I wish I would have killed that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad you said it in front of her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's up, DeMarcus? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. But yeah, and I don't mind this being a prequel, and this is a testament to the great writing and the acting and the casting of this show, because even though it's a prequel, I am just as engaged as if I did not know the end story of Kanan and Juke. You know what I'm saying? Like, that definitely says a lot. But I do hate the fact that we know what happens to Juke and Kanan at the same time. But I'm not invested in Kanan. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't give two ish about what happens to Kanan. Now, I am interested in Juke's life from this point until, we see her in OG Power. I wish we can delve into that more. I don't know if we're going to get any of Juke in Origins. We may hear her name reference. I don't know, because this is the thing. Rock's business is dead, so Juke will not have any work. Okay, she's going to have to find work somewhere else. I don't know if she's going. Like I said, I don't know if she's going to ask Kanan for work. I don't know. That's. I don't know. I can see it, but I can't. Or she can find her own plug, or she can, start robbing people or boosting again. I don't know. I really don't know what criminal life she's going to have at this point. And I also thought about Garcia's. I'm thinking about Garcia when I think about Juke. Because Juke has had several points of views when it comes to the police, right? She had this situation with Burke. They kind of built a rapport. She's had this short-lived arrangement with Garcia. So she's definitely getting the ins and outs on some level on the rules of engagement when it comes to being a police officer, being clean and being dirty. So all these things are doing nothing but teach her, right? I don't know, DeMarcus, you probably can tell me, or someone else, but since Garcia is no longer on my you got to die list, not at this time, okay, Garcia, you are safe with me for right now. I don't know. I can see him possibly being like a sax from OG Power, still lingering around, because yes, we did hear Garcia tell Juke, hey, as long as you keep your nose clean, I will not be fucking with you and your family, okay? But who's to say that Kanan Starks and his shenanigans will not appear on Garcia's desk in the future? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a huge overhaul on that precinct because everybody dirty. I could see Garcia even being promoted or something like that, and he be a captain and have his own little team. You know what I'm saying? And Kanan, we already know he's gonna get into all of the hood rat ish. So I can see Garcia like sticking around. But I could also see him getting murked low key. So I don't know. I'm just a little interested in how this, situation with him investigating this little case with Marvin. Hold on, I missed a few comments. DeMarcus, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. Thank you so much. You said Snaps will eliminate Garcia next episode, which prevents Garcia from doing a favor for Juke to save Marvin's life. Juke will eliminate Snap. Oh, I love that. Kind of. I'll say I love it, but I can definitely see that. All right, DeMarcus, thank you for the super chat. Okay. That is highly possible. Support game, you said Flexport 9 is just a plot hole. OG Power messed up a lot of times, like Ghost Date of Birth. I'm not getting into the timelines, child. We'll be here all night. Mean B, hey girl, how you doing? You said Plug could be the one who bought her strip mall. Yeah, we still haven't really addressed that, which is hella annoying because we got 2 episodes to flesh this shit out. Like, come on, stop playing with us. Who is this Plug? Well, who is this person? You're right. It could be the Plug. I don't know, because he wants things to be under the table. He's from overseas and he got long bread. So, yeah. Candy, you said, is Flossie going to adopt Amber and put her on a 305? I am done. Okay. What in the Diddy are we talking about here, Candy? Oh God, no. We already established. Amber got snitch in her blood. Okay, I'm sorry. She come from a snitch, and it would seem like a good plan to have Flossie adopt Amber, but the legality, I'm sure she can get that approved. Don't get me wrong. She got judges and all the people's in her pocket, but I don't know if that's the best decision. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. Oh, little Amber. I just wish Marvin just love her from a distance, bro. Like, you don't gotta meet. And this is the problem. He was meeting with her father, okay, Gerald, all the effing time, and you're repeating the cycle. And these are the things that frustrates me about Marvin. Like, once you saw that little girl going to that nice, beautiful house in that nice neighborhood, you should have left it well off alone. Maybe if you want to stalk her when she's going to and from school from across the street, just to check on, make sure she's good, make sure, her teeth is brushed, you know what I'm saying? Make sure her clothes is clean and everything. Cool. But having all these little play dates, cut it out, Marvin. Cut it out. Flex, you said my theory is that from 94 to 01 would be its own separate spinoffs connecting the 2 shows. We'll see Juke, Breeze, and Angie. If they make that spinoff, that's better than the flashbacks to Origins. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. But yeah, the Angie thing, I don't know, because she goes off to school. So I don't really, because we get a time jump. So I don't really think they're going to address Angie really. Because, they pretty much go through different paths. It seems as though, because she went to Choke, and I believe like Choke it was a high school. So she probably left, maybe junior, senior year. I can't remember. I'm sure they addressed that information to OG Power, but I don't really think they're going to really show like Angie for real. Unless she like comes home, for summer. Granted, it's never summer in Power. It was summer in Force for like a season, but maybe she comes home for Christmas break or something. And, they see each other. You said, I think Garcia will be around. Makes no sense to unalive him. Yeah. I think he's in my good graces now, so you can stay alive for now. Omari, you said, I wonder if she becomes a cop to be Rock or Kanan's inside man. I don't really think she about to do all that for Rock and Kanan at this point. If anything, will be Marvin, but Marvin's done with the game, low key. So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking too. Like, granted, it seems though Marvin is either going to be, locked up or put down. I wish there was another option, but unfortunately, I mean, I could also see him like working with Flossie, even though I don't think she really need him per se, because she can lay down low herself. But unfortunately, Marvin is like pushing 40, if not 40, and is like, men typically, have that mindset. Just how like Rock and really Unique as well. He was like, what am I going to do? Like, what skills do I have? I can't really go into the workforce. I never really had a real job for real. Which I feel like is not true, because to be a drug dealer, you got to manage a lot of things. Okay. You got sales, you got science, you got customer service, you got logistics, you got negotiations. Like, you so many things you're going to have to, you have to do and be when it comes to selling that work. So there's definitely a lot of skills involved. Blaze, you said hopefully Kanan will become a human pinata again before the finale rolls. Yeah, I think they're done. with Kanan, unfortunately. Mean B, you said Garcia probably go work for the feds. Yeah, that may be an option. Candy said he definitely could use another ass cutting. Yeah, but I think, I don't know. I don't see Kanan getting another ass whooping. I just think he's a done deal. I mean, he's just going to do hood rat-ish with his friends. Like, that's the life he wants to lead, and let that be. It's like he's one of those people it's talking to a brick wall. SJ Smith, you said, I think Juke will take out Garcia after he does one last thing for her because he knows too much. I did think about that too. Like, we got to get him out of here. He's a loose end. I don't really see that, but I have thought of that. DeMarcus, you said, I wonder if Captain Baptiste knew that Kanan was Howard's son. Yeah, I don't think that. But I did mention earlier, like, dang, he took himself out before he got the real tea, the real juicy gossip. You know what I'm saying? You over there ratting on, Raquel and her peoples, and you don't know that she's Howard's baby mother. Like, I'm sure he probably wouldn't have gave up that information if he knew. I mean, I'm saying he would. It's possible that Howard could have confided in him, but I think Howard was kind of keeping that information, to the chest. It's in L1913. You said it would be funny if Garcia is related to not Tight T Blanca Rodriguez. Don't get me started on her. She worked my nerve. She worked my motherfucking nerve. But hey, you never know. You never know. We saw Junior was over there. Oh God. I just thought about pause, y'all. I swear, power. You know what I need to do? You know what? I'm not gonna say it because somebody might steal it. But I need to write this down. Where is my pen? Let me just write it on my phone. Excuse me. Oh, por favor. Un momento, por favor. All right, y'all. Sorry, I had to write this down because I am a woman of a certain age, and if I don't write it down, I'm gonna forget. Okay. Oh, my sister says she's watching my live. Oh, thank you, sis. How you doing? I mean, I know how you doing, but thank you. Stephen Harris, you said so ready for Snap and Pop to be gone. It's yes. And I'm glad we have not needed to see them, but I'm glad they have not been disgracing my screen the past few episodes. Okay. I just need maybe 2 episodes. I mean, that's 2 episodes, two scenes. A scene Well, I don't know. I really could wrap them up in one scene. Okay, we can address all the lies. Okay, and we can murk them all in one scene. Like I don't. Yeah, that's all I need. Is whether y'all gonna do it episode 7 or episode 8. Episode, oh child, it's about to be a doozy these next 2 weeks, child. And I'm gonna let y'all know I am traveling. So next week, I'm probably gonna do a Sunday live. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. But the following week, I gotta figure that out. I'm gonna be out of town, so I need to figure out when I'm going to go and review the finale. I may just do it on location. We shall see. We shall see. The Marcus, when you talk about Craig, why are you talking about that boy's hygiene? DeMarcus, you said Jukebox will be pissed that Kanan still working with Breeze, especially if something happens to Marvin. This is why Jukebox gave Kanan that scar on his neck. Yeah. And I also have been thinking, how Kanan and OG Power pretty much, I think right before he murked Juke, he was like, yeah, you pretty much insinuated that she talks too much. So I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean by that? And you know what came to my mind watching this episode? I don't know why. I could see a situation where Juke low-key like snitch on Kanan. I know that may be a reach, but I don't know. I can see like Garcia investigating Kanan and Juke throw him a bone because she tired of his shit. I could see that. Probably not gonna happen, but I can see it. DeMarcus, you said Juke would eliminate Snap and Tanner. Oh, sorry, I read it wrong. Snap and Tanner arrests Pop for the death of I don't know. Both of them gonna. I mean, they probably both will get murked, but I could see one having a different fate than the other. Blaze, you said, I just want Kanan to get his ass whooped one more time. It'll be a satisfying conclusion to the series. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like Marvin, he beat his behind. That was like 3 regular ass whoopings. Like that was like 3 ass whoopings in once, low key. But I'm not going to disagree. Like if I could see Kanan get some hands, I would definitely enjoy it every time. I would definitely be tuned in at 12 o'clock. Every week. Yes, I will. But guys, I have been on here long enough. So if you guys have any last comments you guys wanted for me to read and discuss, please do so now. Because it's 1 o'clock and I still got stuff to do. Yeah, I be on my crackhead itch. I be up late doing stuff. Inga Boo, you said I'm on my way to Queens right now to throw my snaps of Stefano in the fire. Getting in my car. Girl, why you ain't tell me? I could have booked the flight. You can't wait 2 more weeks. I'll be up there, girl. Let me find it. Let me see if there's a red eye. Let me go on American Delta somebody. Because I would definitely join you. Okay. Because, Snap a little heavy. You're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some help. DeMarcus, you said Kanan took accountability for eliminating Sean and OG Power because he blamed Rock for Lulu's death. Yeah, child. Juke had to get it out of him though. Flex, you said, so we at least see her depart. Flex, you said, remember aging was still around in 96. What do you mean by aging? Was that a typo? You said Angie. I just heard it's a couple of different time jumps going on. So I heard that their origins is going to be starting in 2000, right? So 8 years. Kanan would be, He's 17 right now. Okay, he'll be 25. Tommy and Ghost is 4 years younger than Kanan. So no, 5 years, I believe. So that's college age. Okay, 2002. Origin gonna have some flashbacks. Okay, I just gonna traumatize us. Sorry, Demarcus. Thank you for the super chat. You said if Stefano Marchetti get eliminated, Ratel, aka Rock Thomas, can't use her get out of jail free card. I just don't think that's even an option no more. R.I.P. Andre Barnes. Unique. I loved you, but you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. But again, he was in a jealous rage. Okay. Looks like Stefano, just hating. They really had Unique out here, just really hunting people down. Andre merely just hugged Rock, and he really thought they were sleeping together. He was down bad for Rock. I swear for Lord. Blaze just said, wasn't Kanan much bigger than Ghost and Tommy though? Like bigger, like in stature, like in physique. But I do know, like when OG Power started, because I know Tasha turned 30 because she had a 30th birthday party. Ghost and Tommy were 35, and that means Kanan was like 40, and then Juke would be like 41. Inga, you said I don't think that get out jail free card is optional anymore. I think we're done with that. Yeah, I think we're done. We're not playing Monopoly anymore. That's donezo. Yeah, Rock, it's a wrap, boo-boo. It's a wrap. And unfortunately, I don't think at this point you have any, not going to have much control on what happens at this point. You lost that option to make wise decisions. And I just know this last situation, Rock, you took it too far. You took it too far. And the mere fact you warned the man before you did it, maybe if you would not have said anything and then marked him, then I'm like, okay, it could be questionable, even though they probably knew it would have came from you. But still, Rock, you gonna warn the man and then do it? Don't get me wrong. I appreciate you backing your ish up. I appreciate you. But God, we got to lay low. I don't know if we still got stash houses or what. Well, we got to lay the fuck low. Rock, you better not be in that house. Episode 7 and 8. You better not be in the house. DeMarcus, you said Stefano will use Tony Teresi and Sammy to eliminate Marvin. You really be wanting Tony Teresi to pop up. I'm not mad at you. I understand you want it to all be. I get it, but I don't know. We don't know. Flex, you said 94 to 01. It would make better sense to do a spinoff rather than flashbacks if phase 1 of the Power Universe is ending. We're entering the second with Legacy and Origins, so we'll have one for 94 to 01 for phase 3. Yeah. Child. The Marcus, he said Tremont will eliminate Rock because she left him alive as a loose end, and she eliminated. Yeah. Well, we know Tremont's gonna be in Origins. We talked about Tremont plenty of times, so we should see. We just see if she get that Omar action, because that would definitely be one of those things, that nobody would expect. I mean, I did mention that as well, last season, because I feel like Marvin beat Tremont's ass enough too, where it was like you have to murk somebody if you beat them that badly. But we shall see. I will be upset if Tremont gets that pleasure, if you will. Like, he don't deserve that. Okay. Blaze just said stature and physique. The guys that are playing younger, Ghost and Tommy, look like they might tower over Kanan. LOL. But we'll see whenever Origin airs. You are correct. Because it do like they're pretty. They're probably, I don't know. It's funny because sometimes people be looking mad like tall on TV and they be short as hell. Like, these actors be real short. But they do look like they're taller than Kanan. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a scene or any behind the scenes with uh the young Tommy and Ghost next to Kanan to kind of compare. But yeah, Kanan looked mad short. Like he's given like 5'3" or something. So we'll see. Because like in OG Power, Kanan looked bigger. Yeah, he was bigger than he may have been the same height as Tommy. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, because this new younger Ghost definitely look taller than the old Ghost. Because we know Amari, he's pretty short. In my point of view. Flex, you said it's not that we don't like the casting; it's just messes up the continuity. Yeah. They'll make it work. I have faith they'll make it work. But yeah, you guys. Okay, it's been 2 hours in 1 minute. Okay. It's been good chopping up with y'all, but I have a few things to do before I go to bed. It's my nephson's birthday today officially, so I gotta get things in order. It gives Christmas. Birthday for me is like Christmas. Like I don't play. I'm a holiday girl. So yeah. So thank y'all for chatting with me tonight. I hope you guys have liked the video. I don't know how, they have this little hype thing. I don't know if my channel, I don't know if that's an option or not. But yeah, just support me if you don't mind. And of course, I'll be back next week to review. I know my reviews aren't consistent in terms of the date and time, and I apologize for that, but it's summer and I've been outside. Okay. So unfortunately, I have to, get in where I fit in when it comes to these reviews, but you guys show up every time. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Inga. Flexport, you said the actor that plays Ghost is the same height as 50 in real life. How tall is 50? Is he 6 feet? I've seen 50 in person, but unfortunately, he was like on like a, not really a stage, but like the couch. It was like a party. So I couldn't really tell in relation to me because he was like in a different level. So I couldn't really tell, but he may be 6 feet. Thank you, DeMarcus, for calling me phenomenal. Well, my life phenomenal. So you call me phenomenal. I'm gonna take that. Okay, I'm gonna interpret it how I want to. But again, y'all, thank you so much. Y'all don't stay up all night. Okay, y'all get some sleep. Y'all wake up in the morning, have your good old breakfast, enjoy your weekend, well, the rest of your weekend, if you will. I hope to enjoy mine. And yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much. So see y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.